Age gap romances hit different when the story actually uses the gap instead of pretending it doesn't exist. These picks lean into the tension, the timing, and the messy feelings that come with it. Let's count them down. That accidental scandal in Prime Minister and I spirals into a contract marriage that's way funnier than it should be. Won Yul, Lee Bom-soo, is a 42-year-old prime minister, a widowed dad, and a man who treats every emotion like a press briefing. Nam Da-jung, Im Yoon-ah, is a 28-year-old tabloid reporter who's broke, stubborn, and determined to prove she's more than clickbait. Watching them fake a relationship under cameras is comedy gold, but the romance sneaks in through his kids, her messy sincerity, and the way their 14-year gap keeps creating awkward rules they have to renegotiate. She pushes him to be present at home, not just impressive on TV, while he gives her the first real taste of stability she's had in years. When politics turn nasty and her tabloid past gets used against her, their partnership stops being pretend. The best scenes are small: bedtime negotiations, a shared umbrella after a long day, and Yul choosing honesty over optics. The messy setup in Young Lady and Gentleman turns into a full-blown marathon of feelings. Lee Young-guk, Ji Hyun-woo, is a widowed chairman raising 3 kids, and Park Dan-dan, Lee Si-hee, becomes their live-in tutor after her own life collapses. They're drawn to each other fast, but the drama doesn't ignore the 14-year age gap. It's in the gossip, the power imbalance, and the way Dan-dan has to prove she's not a kid living under his roof. Young-guk isn't written as a perfect rich savior either. Grief makes him stubborn, and his pride causes real damage. Dan-dan, though, is pure grit with a bright smile, and watching her set boundaries is half the satisfaction. The hook is the household chaos, the kids testing her, the staff watching her, and the exes circling like sharks. It's messy, addictive, and oddly comforting when the family finally clicks. The awkward spark in What's Up, Fox starts the second you realize she's older. Go Byung-hee, Go Hyun-jung, is 33, stuck in a mediocre job, and quietly stressed about time passing. Park Chul-soo, Chun Jung-myung, is her friend's 24-year-old younger brother, a mechanic with this annoying level of confidence. The 9-year gap isn't treated like a cute detail, it's the whole social problem. Byung-hee keeps trying to act responsible, then gets caught doing the most teenage things because he makes her feel wanted. Chul-soo, meanwhile, refuses to be treated like a kid, and that pushback is what makes the romance feel real. You get family reactions, workplace gossip, and those painfully funny moments where she's pretending she doesn't care while caring the most. It's older K-drama style, sure, but the honesty about a Nuna romance and the pressure on women to act their age still hits. And when they finally talk it out instead of hiding, you feel why the gap mattered in the first place. This time warp in Reunited Worlds turns first love into something painfully complicated. Sung Hae-sung, Ya Jin-gu, comes back looking 19, while Jung Jung-won, Lee Yan-hee, is 31 and has been carrying the grief for years. They were the same age before, but time created the age gap for them, and the drama never lets you forget it. She has an adult life, adult wounds, and a protective instinct that keeps fighting her feelings. He's warm and earnest, but he's also trapped in the moment he disappeared, trying to catch up to a world that moved on without him. The romance hits hardest in the quiet scenes. A familiar meal, a walk through places that changed, a look that says, "I missed your whole life." Add a mystery thread around why he returned, plus friends who grew up around his absence, and the show becomes hard to pause. It's sweet, eerie, and honestly kind of heartbreaking. That time-made gap is the obstacle, not the villain. The second chance pull in Doctors doesn't start in a hospital, it starts in a classroom. Hong Ji-hong, Kim Rae-won, becomes the one adult who sees potential in Yoo Hae-jung, Park Shin-hye, when she's a rough, angry teenager. Years later, they meet again as doctors, and the vibe shifts from guidance to something neither of them can ignore. The show keeps the romance in tension with work, surgeries, rivalries, and the constant pressure of doing the right thing when politics get ugly. Hae-young is the reason it works. She's blunt, resilient, and doesn't melt into cute heroine mode. Ji-hong is steady, but he's not spotless, and the drama lets him face consequences for crossing lines. The age gap and their teacher-student history sit in the background like a warning sign, which is exactly why their every step feels risky. Come for the chemistry and the glow-up. Stay for the satisfying moments where she finally chooses her own life on her own terms. The deal at the center of marriage contract is so cold it's almost painful to watch at first. Kang Hae-soo Yui is a single mom drowning in debt, and Han Ji-hoon, Lee Sa-jin, is a chaebol heir who needs a liver donor for his mother. She agrees because her daughter's future matters more than her pride, and he acts like emotions are optional. Then the drama starts doing what it does best, turning a transaction into attachment, one uncomfortable moment at a time. Hae-soo's quiet strength carries the story, especially when she refuses to be treated like a charity case. Ji-hoon's change is slower, more believable, and it lands because it costs him his usual control. The age gap vibe adds another layer to their imbalance. He's older, richer, and used to deciding while she has to fight to be heard. It's a tear-heavy watch, but the tenderness feels earned because they're both choosing love while running out of time. The tension in Secret Love Affair is quiet, expensive, and absolutely lethal. Oh Hae-won, Kim Hee-ae, looks untouchable, married, polished, powerful in the arts world, and used to swallowing her real thoughts. Then she meets Lee Sun-jae, Yoo Ah-in, a 20-year-old piano prodigy with nothing but talent and anger, and the air changes. Their connection isn't built on cute dates, it's built on practice rooms, stolen minutes, and that feeling of finally being seen. The age gap here is the scandal itself, a woman in her 40s and a man in his 20s, and the show makes you feel every stare, every risk, every lie they tell. It also doesn't romanticize the mess. Money, power, and manipulation are always in the frame. What makes it addictive is how restrained the acting is. A small touch hits like a confession. Even the music becomes a secret language between them. It's the age gap romance that feels grown up, dangerous, and painfully real. The quiet ache in Lost feels like someone turned the volume down on life. Boo-jong, Jeon Do-yeon, is a burnt-out ghostwriter who's terrified her whole existence will add up to nothing. Kang-jae, Ryu Jun-yeol, is younger, broke, and running a service business where people play roles for money. But he's just as empty inside. Their bond doesn't explode, it creeps in, built on late-night talks and the relief of not having to perform. The age gap element matters because they're standing at different edges of time. She's looking back with regret. He's looking ahead with panic. It's not a cute couple drama, and it won't hand you easy comfort, but it's brutally honest about loneliness and desire. Jeon Do-yeon plays silence like dialogue, and Jun-yeol makes vulnerability feel raw, not pretty. By the end of an episode, you're not chasing twists. You're chasing feelings you can't name. Their connection sits in that gray space between rescue and ruin, and that uncertainty is the hook. The first meeting and encounter looks like a simple travel memory, then it follows them home. Cha Soo-hyun, Song Hae-kyo, is a hotel CEO who's been living by other people's rules since forever, even after her divorce. Kim Jin-hyuk, Park Bo-gum, is her employee, bright and stubbornly kind, and he doesn't treat her like a headline. Once the office finds out, every smile becomes a scandal and every decision becomes political. The drama's tension comes from restraint. Soo-hyun trying not to want anything, Jin-hyuk refusing to back away, and the world insisting they're wrong. That's where the age gap starts to sting, because she's judged as the older woman with power while he's dismissed as a naive kid. The romance stays gentle, almost quiet, but the pressure around them is constant. Expect gorgeous mood, slow burn conversations, and the kind of chemistry that lives in eye contact more than grand speeches. When they choose each other, it feels like choosing a tiny piece of freedom. The bold flirting in A Witch's Romance kicks in before you can even brace yourself. Ban Ji-yeon, Jung-hwa, is a 39-year-old investigative reporter with a witch reputation and a broken trust meter. Yoon Dong-ha, Park Seo-joon, is 25, runs an odd jobs agency, and shows up with this calm confidence that makes her defenses look useless. The drama has fun with the gap, 14 years, different life stages, different baggage, but it never treats her as expired or him as a child. Ji-yeon's fear is real. She's been hurt, she's busy, and she hates the idea of being pitied. Dong-ha doesn't chase her with speeches. He shows up, does the small caring things, and lets her decide the pace. That's why the romance feels hot and surprisingly comforting at the same time. Expect witty banter, workplace chaos, and a couple that keeps choosing honesty even when the age gap gossip gets loud. It's one of Park Seo-joon's most charming early roles, and Jung-hwa owns every scene. And that's it for today's video. Please don't forget to subscribe and press that like button for more amazing content like this. See you in the next one.